Wow. Huh. That's pretty sad. Not as scary, but pretty sad. Oh. Hey everyone. Just going through my Goosebumps. Turns out that, I was browsing around for my house and I found more books that I have. So, the story about the ghost next door, it's pretty sad. It's not as typical horror like all the other Goosebump books. Oh well. Anyway, welcome back everybody. Pretty glad to see me back doing my own thing, huh? In case for those of you who are wondering, let's just say I have another technical difficulty. Why is it that I always have technical difficulty every time? It's like something wants to stop me for doing what I love doing. Like somebody wants to stop me to do what I do best. Review. And be funny. Anyway, since this is, September, 12th? September 12th. What did I do? Goosebumps. But of course this time I'm not reviewing a book, folks. I'm reviewing something that was based from the books. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm reviewing to you today is Goosebump the movie. And oh my gers, it is really good. I mean, oh my gerb, it is a good movie. Although I do think that Jack Black needs more practicing on his acting, but he does a pretty good job compared to his last performance on Gulliver's Travel. In this movie, it's like a typical teenage kind of movie. You get this new kid here, Zach. His mother is the new vice principal, and he's going to a new school. And everybody knows they always talk down to kids who are either daughters or sons of the principal or vice principal, because his mother is the new vice principal. Imagine that. And he all of a sudden meets this beautiful girl here, Hannah. And she lives in this house, owned by Jack Black, who plays R.L. Stine. That's right. R.L. Stine, the guy who wrote these books. And of course, Zach meets this kid named Champ. But of course, he explained why his name is Champ. It's because his mother and father were Olympic competitors. They won prizes from all the Olympics. So when they had a son, they decided to name him Champion. Champ for short. Now Zach, he lives next door to R.L. Stine. And R.L. Stine, he doesn't like Zach and always keeps warning him to stay out of his area. Stay away from his house and don't ever talk to his daughter, Hannah. Wonder why. Being so mysterious and all. Although he go by a different name. And of course, Zach decided to call the cops because he heard a lot of fighting going on between him and Hannah. So he called the cops. And the cops didn't believe him because he had surround sound. And they thought that the scream came from that. Wait a minute. Am I missing something here? Oh yeah. Beware, you're in for a scare. You know, I want to make a really good R.L. Stine. But of course I should shave. Anyway, all in all, throughout this entire story, it is a good movie. Anyway, Zach, as he crept inside R.L. Stine's house, he found something that he was so surprised of. Manuscripts. And they're all manuscripts by R.L. Stine's books. And Champ remembered one of them. The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. He remembered the story because his grandma was from Pasadena and he never visited Pasadena since after reading the story. Of course, I never read the story, so I don't know how it goes. Maybe some of you would, because I know some of you folks have read Goosebumps and probably would tell me about what happened at the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. Or how it ended. But I did read other books, though, so I'm pretty much aware of the other stories. And after Zach opened up the manuscript of the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, bam! All those the Abominable Snowman came out of the book, and he starts creating problems. Imagine that. And all in all, Slappy, the dummy from Night of the Living Dummy, he came out of the manuscript, and now he's releasing all the monsters. And one thing is pretty cool about this movie is you can spot every single monster throughout every single story from this movie. I mean, you can find the werewolf of Pasadena, the werewolf of Fever Swamp, the evil gnomes, the giant prey mantis from Shocker at Shock Street. Oh, and here's a little inside joke about the mantis. When R.L. Stine, Jack Black, said, "I don't remember a giant praying mantis," and the praying mantis belched right in front of the glass, and a lot of goose stuff came out of his mouth, he was like, "Oh, now I remember." I read the story, and I know why. Because when they did the TV series back in the 90s, and they did the episode of the Shocker at Shock Street, they left out the mantis. And I discovered why. Because in the original book, the praying mantis always belch up this gooey stuff. It caused the kids' feet stick on the floor and cannot move, while the mantis was coming after them. And that was on Shocker at Shock Street. It's just too bad they didn't have enough special effects to make it convincing in the episodes. How about that? That really sucked. Anyway, and of course Slappy himself came out of the book from the from the book I have here, Night of the Living Dummy. And also there are tons of other monsters like the clown, the zombies from Welcome to Dead House. I don't remember an episode about the Venus flytrap growing everywhere and creating havoc. Or I don't even remember a bunch of aliens who has a freeze gun who always freezes people. I don't remember that story. But if any of you have the book, you should probably tell me about the aliens who has a freeze gun that freezes people. Or the toy robot that shoots lasers. I don't know what story that's from. Or a bunch of those insects that Zach hit one of them with a bat with. But I do remember the Pumpkinhead, the Scarecrow. I don't know about the mad scientist with the big beard, glasses, and wild hair. But I do remember the Haunted Mask. It showed Carly Beth wearing that mask from the Haunted Mask. And of course the little goblin. I mean, there are like tons and tons of monsters you can just point out and say which story they're from. It's just too bad it didn't show monster blood, but instead showed the blob that ate everything. And here's a little something I also discovered. From the blob that ate everything, the typewriter that R.L. Stine talked about, he said all of his monsters came from his special typewriter called Smith Cologne, whatever brand it's called. It's the same typewriter from the book, because if any of you ever read The Blob That Ate Everything, it all started with the boy who wants to be a horror writer, and he found an old typewriter, and he started typing down things, typing his own stories, and one smart aleck punk kid just wrote about the blob, and all of a sudden the blob came to life, and now it showed the blob in the movie instead of the monster blood. I mean, the monster blood was more popular than the blob. But of course it's referencing the movie The Blob with Steve McQueen. But of course, unlike Monster Blood and The Blob Ate Everything, it doesn't digest people when it swallows someone. It just swallows them and imprisons them. That's it. It doesn't kill them. Because I saw the remake too, and that was creepy. But I have one problem about this movie. Why didn't they show the Masked Mutant? I mean, the Masked Mutant was my favorite character in the book. And this was my #1 favorite story out of the whole bunch of Goosebumps books. Why didn't they show the Masked Mutant appearing in the movie? But of course I discovered there's tons of other monsters in the movie, so I guess they didn't have any room for the Masked Mutant. Although I did hear that they're planning to do a sequel of Goosebumps. Goosebumps 2, but sadly it's going to come out in 2017. Another year, huh? And I think the sequel is going to be pointing towards from the very famous series of Goosebumps, Horrorland. Not Horrorhouse. Horrorland. And I mean Horror. Horror. Not the other word. In case you decided to think, ooh, I said something bad. Give me a break. And for those of you who are not too familiar with Horrorland, it's actually a theme park, and it's overrun by horrors. The one with the H, not the W's. These horn-like creatures, they kind of look like gargoyles. But the only way you can destroy them, you have to pinch them, and they will deflate. Interesting weakness right there. And of course, for those of you who are wondering, is Goosebumps still going? I say they are. There are these new series of books with new added titles along with Goosebumps. Like there is Goosebump Horrorland, where it involves Horrorland itself. And also there is Goosebumps Hall of Horrors and Goosebumps Most Wanted. R.L. Stine just keeping himself busy, is he? And there is a brief cameo from R.L. Stine himself, except when he meets Jack Black, he says, "Hello, Mr. Stine," and Jack Black said, "Hello, Mr. Black." And he said he's their drama teacher. If real R.L. Stine played as himself in this movie, I guess his performance would be underacting. I mean, no offense to R.L. Stine, he is a good writer. It's just, I see him make his appearance in the series, the episodes in Fox. His performance is kind of wooden, just like his dummy. Speaking of thus, I was trying to read through this book here. It's pretty interesting, although it didn't made Slappy the Dummy here the main bad guy, but there is a guy who calls himself Mr. Wood. But in the sequels, he became more of the main bad guy, and He became more of an icon to Goosebumps than that other host I know that I like the most. Huh. Somebody wrote this on the back of the book. What is it? Caro, Mari, Odana, Lama, Marlanu, Carano. Whatever that means. Whoa, what the? What? Whoa!
Hello, everybody, and hello, Mr. Multi-Voice Reviewer. I have finally come out of the book, and I am returned to take over.
What are you doing here, Slappy?
Well, as you can see, I have returned. Since the internet became the biggest thing throughout the world, I decided to take over. I'm gonna take over your show and become the new host of your show, so I can once again rule the world.
That doesn't make any sense. Nobody owns the internet. It belongs to everybody. You can't rule the world with the internet. It's impossible.
Oh, you shall see, and I will raise triumphant.
Oh yeah, Slappy? You forgot one thing. I am an honorary member of the Goosebump fan club that I got this ring from. And some of the members of the club did give me something extra. I got this. A Goosebump special edition where it's full of scary tales, and it had the original host of the original host of the original shorts tales of Goosebumps.
Oh, and what is that book can defeat me from you? I mean, you cannot even suck me into the manuscript if you even wanted to. Or the book itself.
Oh yeah? Well, being a member of the club, it always brings a lot of good incantations. It shows some pretty interesting hidden incantation from the book. Like this.
What do you think you're doing?
Host Kabibble. Oh no. Goose Kabibble, Goose Kaboo, here's the host to take care of you. Wow!
Hello, I'm Curly. I'm the original host of Goosebumps, and also I am the head scout leader of the Ghoul Scouts.
Oh yeah? Well, you're just a bony skeleton. I can rule everything because I am unstoppable.
Are you kidding? You're just a dummy. Just a dummy who don't even know when to shut up.
How dare you call me dummy?
Well, at least I'm not a bonehead. Like so. Ow!
How dare you?
How dare me? How dare you trying to take over the entire franchise of Goosebumps? I am the original host here. Even though there's a rumor saying that I came from Che Cheese and Die, but my name's not even mentioned in the book. I'm just mentioned in the short stories, that's all. And you are out of here, 'cause your performance is more wooden in this show.
Oh, shut up!
No, you shut up. So you, skadoosh. Lucky-kadoo, shaka-baka-doo, laka-tika-baka-doo. You, old house, get out of here.
No!
And therefore I declare this tale the end.
Thank you, Curly. I thought I'll never leave.
No problems, kid. Since I'm back, I decided to take over. And this time I'm not gonna terrorize anybody. Just tell spooky stories for all the kids. Since I am the head icon host of Goosebumps.
Hold it right there.
I am the Crypt Keeper.
I always been the host of
Tales from the Crypt. Oh yeah, well you're the inspiration for Isle Stein. So it's an honor to meet you, Crypt Keeper.
And I have to say, it is an honor to meet you, Curly. What can I say? I have a soft spot for the other hoes, as long as they're not competing against me.
That was funny.
Oh, you're a wise guy, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty wise.
Well, how about you and I team up, huh? You scare the kids, I scare the grown-ups. You handle the kitties, and I handle the gronies.
Sounds pretty good. How about it?
Okay. Friends?
Friends.
Now let's go. We got tons of horrible tales to tell you folks soon. So long, boils and ghouls.
And so long, members. Oh, and by the way, multi-voice reviewer,
What's that, Curly?
as long as you have the ring, you can call me anytime. Since you are the member of the Goosebump fan club, you can continue on doing what you do best. So, toodaloo. So long, and bye-bye.
That's the thing about that's the thing about making videos. Something evil always keep following you, and you always have somebody on the horror side have your back. And this is what you get for being a member of the club. Well, actually, sooner or later October will be coming soon. So, I don't know if I'm going to do another grim, scary tale, or just continue on going back to basics. So, any of you who want me to do more grim, scary tales, please leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to get more of my videos, and hit like. So, I'm getting tired of talking about horror stories. There's one thing I really want to tell you folks for my next review. This time I'm going to lay off the horror stories and do something that I always wanted to do. I want to tell you folks about sci-fi classics. And I'm not talking about Star Trek, Doctor Who, or Star Wars. I'm going to talk to you about the classics. The legendary sci-fi heroes it inspired all the science fictional writers of the day, and creators too. I'm going to be reviewing to you John Carter, Flash Gordon, and Buck Rogers. So you better stay tuned, because I'm going up to the stars. So, see you soon. And for those of you who are waiting for grim, scary tales, beware, you're in for a scare.